So thank you for joining us for the AI Summit. Now, one of the big questions that you guys are going to be thinking about right now is, where do I go from here? How do I start becoming an AI-enabled entrepreneur? And what we wanted to put together as Mindvalley, the world's foremost transformational education company, is a curriculum and a program that actually puts you in the top 0.1% of everyone who's leveraging AI in your field. So as I mentioned on day one at the summit, most people dabble in AI. They maybe follow an Instagram account, they try to look at these 90-second reels and try to figure things out. And a lot of this is useful, but there's so much deeper. Becoming a true master means going beyond just dabbling. It means being able to think strategically about AI, understanding how to bring AI at different levels of your company, understanding how to become an AI-powered CEO or founder or executive. And at its most advanced level, it's becoming someone like Vikintas or Dominic, an AI evangelist, someone who can look at any company, any team, any individual, and figure out how to make them 2, 3, 5x faster at what they do, and increase the quality of what they do, both quantity and quality with AI. And that's what this is about. Could we have my slides on screen, please? So I want to give you an idea of what our AI Mastery curriculum is about. And we were so excited when we announced it yesterday because half the spots got filled in the first 2 hours itself. So I'm so enthusiastic and so excited to see almost 270 of you already enrolled. So the goal is this: become a master of applied AI and cut your current work week from 5 days to 4 or even 3. Now, I want you to think about that. What would life look like if you had an extra 1 or 2 days a week? So in Jan 31st, when I started dabbling in ChatGPT, I thought as a founder, this is probably going to be neat. It'll be another tool, like maybe, like how Google Docs was when it emerged. I wasn't prepared for what would happen. It wasn't just another tool. It was a revolution. It changed the way I work very rapidly. 2 extra days a week of my life freed up. And as I went even deeper in ChatGPT, beautiful things started happening. What is life like when you have 2 extra days a week? Now, I'm the founder of a company that does over 100 million in sales. My life is fairly complex. With 2 extra days a week, so many beautiful things that I couldn't do before, I could now do. That stack of business books on my bedside table, and we all have that. I could finally read that. I could travel because my company practices remote work. I could afford to get an Airbnb in London for 10 days, work from London, meet inspiring people, check out new startups and new ideas, expand my mind. I was able to launch not 1, but 2 new products, the first of which already did close to 2 million in sales. All of this because of extra time. So to many of us, I know many of you are entrepreneurs in your blood. You love what you do. So going from 5 days to 3 days, you're thinking, well, I'll fill that time anyway. But now you get to fill the time with what you want and not the day-to-day processes or drudgery that sometimes saps your energy. All of that, we let AI, we let tools like Airtable take care of it. So it's massive. 1 to 2 extra days of free time changes your life. It changes your health because you can go to the gym more. It changes the way you connect with your children, with your spouse, with your friends. But also, as you free up these 1 to 2 days a week, you give yourself security. You give yourself a moat. You give yourself certainty because everything in the world is about to be disrupted by AI. Peter Diamandis said, as much change as we saw in the world from the year 1900 to 2000, we saw between 1900 and 2016. Remember, the iPhone, Facebook, YouTube were all released. And as much change as we saw between, 2000 and 2016, we see between 2016 and 2022. And then he made his biggest prediction. Between 2022 and 2026, in 4 years, we will see a century worth of change. That is as much change in the next 4 years as the entire 20th century. And this is going to disrupt everything. This is why Diamandis went on to say there will be 2 kinds of companies at the end of the decade. Those that are fully utilizing AI and those that are out of business. So now, this is life or death. Even if you're a coach, I'm sure you've started seeing videos go out, the end of coaching. Because with Meta's new open source tool, If you learn to use that as a coach, you can coach 10 times as many people, and it's almost like one-to-one as a coach who is not using AI. But you got to know how to use this new open source tool from Meta. And so AI is going to change everything, even if you're a business of one. It's about surviving and thriving, right? So here's how the program works. The first thing is this. It's a 6-month curriculum to put you in the top 0.1% of CEOs, founders, execs using AI. Leadership roles, where you can now bring this to the rest of your team. The second thing is it's 50 hours live with AI experts. It's not recording, it's live. And these live calls happen on Wednesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. London time. That's around the morning time if you're on the West Coast. It's evening if you're in, say, Hong Kong or Singapore. But the calls are recorded and you get the recordings for 1 year. Next, it's 2 hours a week for 25 weeks. The curriculum is adaptive, which means that as new technologies, as new tools emerge, we actually adapt the curriculum to meet this crazy rapid pace of AI invention. Right? So, but it's 2 hours a week, which is very, very, very doable. So, for example, in a given week, you might go deep into one of the tools. Let's say Adobe's tool for image generation, the one that Dominic showed, and you learn all the different applications for the tool, how to create an account, how to get better access, how to start using the tool, how to merge your videos together. You go deep. And all of these tools will slowly by slowly empower you to become better at what you do and do it faster. Now, you also become part of a community of people committed to AI mastery. Everyone is connected in a community software and in a WhatsApp group. And for the first 270 people who have already joined, congratulations. I'm so excited that you guys jumped in. We had 500 spots, 270 already filled in the first 2 hours. And I can't wait to see more of you guys come in. You're joining a group of people who are so committed to changing the way they work and changing their business by mastery of AI. Now, why Mindvalley? So we're the world's leading transformation platform. You can go to stories.mindvalley.com, and you guys know this because you're here at Mindvalley University. 20,000 case studies of how Mindvalley has transformed lives. Recently, CNN did a feature on us, not because of some PR agent, but because Zain Asher, the correspondent on CNN, had her life transformed by Mindvalley education. She wanted to do a piece on Mindvalley. And you can watch this video on the front page of our website. And Zain Asher actually said, Mindvalley changed my life. So you're learning AI from a company that specializes in not just dumping knowledge on you, but actually changing the way you think so you go through, as Zain Asher said, a transformation. Even Naveen Jain, the AI pioneer, Naveen worked on some of the early protocols for AI. His partner at Viome was the head of AI at IBM Watson. Naveen Jain said, Mindvalley is building the next Harvard or Stanford of our time. And while we're talking about Harvard or Stanford, I want you to keep this in mind. If you get a deep AI education today, that's like coming out of college with a Harvard or Stanford degree in terms of the leading edge advantages you will have over everyone else. If you graduate from Harvard or Stanford, you have an edge over any other college graduate. If you learn AI right now, you have an edge over everybody else in your field. And I believe that edge is the same as having a Harvard degree and graduating at like 22. So the class starts August 16, total time 2 hours a week for 6 months. It's a deep program. We're with you for 6 months because things are changing so fast. And the reason it's 2 hours a week is because we want to give you implementation time. We calculated that 2 hours a week is the perfect amount. Now, after the first 2 to 3 weeks, you will already start buying time back. I predict that after week 3 or week 4, you will actually have more time freed up than what you have right now. You'll start seeing those time savings. And by week 5, 6, 7, you are actually now seeing your workload get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, I know you guys, it doesn't mean you stop working or you switch to a 3-day work week. You'll just start going into other areas, which is awesome. Make more money, create more products, learn more, gain advantages in what you do. But you're going to start seeing more time free up in your life. Now, the live call schedule is like this. It kicks off August 16. End date is end of Jan 2024. Trainings are Wednesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. London. And this is what the curriculum looks like. So this is really important. The curriculum has 3 parts. The first part is bringing AI into your workflow and company. This is 20 hours. And there's a lot that we cover here. A lot of the stuff that you learned in this summit, we go deeper into these things so you can directly apply them in your workforce. Now, let me give you an idea. McKinsey did a study and found that the average knowledge worker, and almost everyone watching is a knowledge worker, the average knowledge worker wastes 1 day a week, 20% of their time looking for information. Think about that. Now, what if you build teams, companies, processes where you're using Airtable and well-structured data architecture to organize all of your information? And then you're using AI to retrieve and make sense of that information. You learn that in that first 20 hours. And immediately, as you start deploying this attitude to your team, 20% of unnecessary work digging up information disappears. Today, if a member of my team says, Vishen, we're doing a conference in Dubai, and we want to cover the topic of health and wellness. Who are the best speakers you know? I just have to click a couple of buttons in Airtable, and I can do an analysis of every conference we have run in the last 13 years. Every speaker out of 2,000 speakers, their ratings and what they got on stage, what topics they covered, and what market they resonate with. And boom, I know what speaker to choose. And because of this, meetings, like unnecessary meetings, wasted time on the phone, all disappeared. As a CEO, I literally put my brain into Airtable and then work with Vikintas to build algorithms to connect all of the data so my employees have access to my brain without having to actually get in a call with me or shoot me an email. So I'm not on Slack, I'm not on email. If people need me, they use WhatsApp, but I deliberately try to be hard to reach because I want everyone to tap into virtual vision, which sits on Airtable. And all of you will learn to do that too. That's just in the first 20 hours. We go deeper into that in part 2, AI for executives, founders, and CEOs. I'm so excited about this one because it has changed my life as a CEO. I'll give you an example. I had to fly to Mexico to meet with some experts in building and designing hotels because my dream is to build a Mindvalley resort where people can go and go through these transformative experiences. While I was meeting with these world-class hotel builders, I was using a tool called Agent GPT, which plugs into ChatGPT and acts as virtual employee. And I assigned it the task to figure out where should Mindvalley build a hotel, what would it cost, what numbers and metrics and KPIs should we be looking at. When I got the output, now Agent GPT gave me the output in 2 hours. My meetings took 2 days. What we came up with was only 20% different in terms of EBITDA, startup costs, number of rooms we should aim for. And what was funny was Agent GPT came up with the exact same 3 locations in which we should build a hotel as what our human beings came up with: Costa Rica, Mexico, and Bali. It was interesting to see how so much of the thinking that was happening in a strategy session could also be replicated on Agent GPT. So if you are running board meetings, if you learn these tools, you can validate your data, validate your assumptions by using AI tools to improve upon the decision-making capabilities of your human. It is fascinating. Now, the last one is become a chief AI evangelist. This is where you can build apps super fast. When we were launching Mindvalley University, which is a big project, it's actually happening right now, 2 weeks over, 1 more week. It's a 3-week virtual, 3-week campus, physical campus that thousands of people come to. We needed an app where people could browse speakers, rate speakers, give their input, apply if they wanted to be a speaker, see what parties and events were going on. Vikintas built that app using Airtable as a back end and Dalo as a front end. He built it in 14 days flat. And it works better than professional apps we'd have to pay, in one case, $16,000 for. Now you learn how to use this. Now maybe you don't want to build an event app. Maybe you want to build an app for your social media marketing team. So they're completely in sync with what's happening on your social media channels. They can discuss, rate, and ideate. Maybe you want to build an app for your executive team that can instantly inform you guys of profit, revenue, what are leaky buckets in your company, what's popping. All of these you learn how to do when you become a chief AI evangelist. So these are some of the things that we cover in part 1, which is the first 20 hours. So this is 10 weeks, right? And then one of the most beautiful things about part 1 itself, if you're going into this, if you are not an entrepreneur and you work for someone, or if you're a consultant and you're looking to get gigs this is what increases your salary. This is what increases your hourly rate. Here's an article that proves this. Prompt engineers are making up to $375,000 a year. They don't require a background check, and nobody cares if you have a college degree. If you know prompt engineering, and if you're a master at it, that's what some companies are paying you right now. It is insane. Any kid who is a master of AI today can get a job earning over $100K a year without a college degree. The world is transforming so fast. Now, the next thing is this, AI for executives. Remember what Peter Diamandis said. Your job as an executive, why you want to learn AI, is not just to create, to do more faster, but to keep your company and business alive. The only way to crush the competition right now is to outsmart the competition by making your brain, giving yourself an upgrade in terms of how you leverage AI as an executive or founder. Now, the final one, Chief AI Evangelist, this one means you can step into any company and transform their productivity and profits. You're basically a superhero in the business world. You can go to any company, look at any team, look at any process, whether it's creating art or creating content or even finance or accounting, and understand how to apply AI to speed up people's work, save them time, and increase company EBITDA. It is a powerful skill, and think how much you could charge for this. And you get a certificate of completion. So this, you actually get a certificate that allows you to go out there, ask for a raise, or start your own AI consulting business. Now, of course, it's 50 hours to get there in 6 months, right? This isn't happening overnight. But those of you who complete the program, this is what you get. Now, this is what the program looks like in terms of time commitment. AI Mastery for Executive Founders and CEOs is 35 hours. And then you got to put in an extra 15 hours to learn how to become a Chief AI Evangelist. For many of you, you may want to stop at 35 hours. You're like, this is good. I learn everything I can. I don't need to build my own apps, and that's okay. Now, this is the pricing for the program. AI Mastery for Executive Founders and CEOs is a $10,000 investment, and then becoming an AI Chief Evangelist is a $15,000 investment. It is very, very, very likely that you will immediately see 50 to 100 times this ROI, depending on the size of business you have and how you apply this. Is $10,000 for a CEO worth knowing that you can save 2 days a week for the rest of your life and also inspire and lead your team in a better way? Absolutely yes. And I think you guys will agree. This is why the program, half the seats sold out in the first 2 hours yesterday. But one of the things we want to do is we want to make this affordable because many of you guys invested 3 days with us supporting this AI Summit, attending, sharing it with your friends. So immediately we want to bring the price down to $8,000. So the first price was around $300 an hour. Now it's about $200 an hour for a lesson. A single lesson, $200 an hour, is about comparable to what you'd pay a really good what you'd pay for a college lecture at a really good university. Like, for example, the university I went to, the University of Michigan. But what you're learning here are skills that you can directly apply into your work to see results, not skills that are going to become obsolete when you graduate 4 years later. These are skills, you directly apply them and you see ROI. Now, I want you to make a choice of what you think is better for you, right? Are you more into the Executive Founder CEO AI training, 35 hours, or do you want to go deeper and do the AI Evangelist training, which is 50 hours? Which one do you think is better for you? Think about it for a moment. Now, the good news is, to make it easy for you, what we're going to do is we're just going to make it super simple by giving you a buy one, get two option. You invest in any pathway, you get the other one free. Okay, so you don't have to choose whether you want to do the executive path or the Chief AI Evangelist path. Just take the lower price path, we'll give you the other one free. So what this means is, invest in AI for execs, CEOs, and founders for $10K. You'll get the $15K Chief AI Evangelist program included at no extra cost. You don't have to complete it if you don't want to. You can just do the 35 hours, but if you want to, that extra 15 hours, we'll just roll it up. This makes it super simple for you to decide. So I hope you guys appreciate this. And the other thing we'll do is, as a thank you for being part of our founding batch, we will give you guys an extra discount. So $7,999 is what it would take for you guys to get started. So I'm sure now you can see this is such incredible value for money. 6 months to becoming a Chief AI Evangelist, $7,999. And we're also going to offer a couple of bonuses. So for those of you who are in awkward time zones or miss a meeting, you'll get the recordings available for up to 1 year on your Mindvalley app. The second thing, and this is really cool, is you will get action guides. So we will literally give you PDFs, Google Slides, action guides, where after you learn stuff, you have a roadmap to follow. So for example, this would be an action guide for my presentation yesterday on how to create stunning images with ChatGPT plus Midjourney. You can see how detailed it is. This is just 1 page of a 20-page action guide. But we'll get these guides to you so that it's super easy for you guys to get this out into your workplace and into your company. So this just will allow you to accelerate the speed at which you adopt AI. And finally, if you want a payment plan, we'll make that available as well. It's a little bit more expensive if you take a payment plan, but it's $1,500 a month for 6 months. So this offer is available because we're giving such a huge discount. It's a 2-for-1 special. This offer is available for the next 500 users only. We announced it yesterday at the end of the event, and 270 spots were filled in the first 2 hours. And today we have approximately 12,000 people tuning in live online. So we expect that this thing will be sold out today or tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in joining, then you should simply apply right now. Okay? So while I keep this up there, I will take some questions from the audience, and if we have someone reading out the Zoom comments, we could take some questions from Zoom as well. And I hope you guys sign up, and I can't wait to see you in the batch of 500. Remember, the special offer, the special pricing and discount is only for the first 500, because we appreciate you guys as being part of our founding members. We know that not everything might be perfect. There might be a glitch with a Zoom call. An action guide might have a spelling error. This is normal when you first launch a curriculum. We ask for your patience there, but we want to give you a discount as a founding member. So thank you for that. And this applies for the first 500. Questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. Yes, this gentleman over here.
Thank you. You can hear me? Yeah. I have a question because we were dabbling around in our company as well with this idea. And it seems like, as we are located in Europe, that every good idea was basically torpedoed by the GDPR, that we couldn't use actually the data to make those ideas work. Is this being touched on in this course as well?
Well, actually, more than half our lecturers are located in Europe. Everything we do is GDPR compliant. We work with a really amazing GDPR compliance firm. We have an in-house legal department. And so that is not going to be an issue.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Next question. And if there's someone who can read out the questions from Zoom, that might be useful too. Yes, right over here. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm curious, a lot of my time is focused either on creating cash flow or client delivery.
Right.
And I understand it takes time to make time.
Right.
And so I'm curious, during your transition period, how did you balance your day-to-day and quarter-to-quarter responsibilities with planning for the future like this?
Oh, so one of the things I do, I remember reading a really brilliant book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. And the book is how to be super disciplined at getting things done. And it talks about these 4 principles that effective managers and leaders do. And one of the principles was really interesting. You must make non-negotiable time 2 hours a week to learn and grow. And that time is non-negotiable. As busy as your week gets, you cannot eat into your 2 hours time where you invest in becoming better at your job. So even if you're in customer support, you make 2 hours a week to study how to speed up and improve the quality of your customer support, how to reduce time to first response, how to better communicate with customers. And even if you're having a deluge of customer support tickets, you make those customers wait, and you don't eat into your study time. If you consistently do this, you grow so fast, you become so good at what you do, that you start reducing the time it takes to get anything done. So when I was an entrepreneur and I was building my first website, I invested 2 hours a week to learn PHP programming. So I could rapidly innovate, test my website. And by having this philosophy, non-negotiable study time, it's allowed me to innovate really fast in every field I'm in. But again, the idea comes from the brilliant book, 4 Disciplines of Execution. And that's also why you notice we say this AI program is 2 hours a week. Because 2 hours a week, anyone can do that. Next question. Raise your hand. So another question is this: how might I share this with my employees? Well, the action guides are designed to make it easy. If you're a CEO or founder, you could share those action guides with your employees. We are also going to, later on we'll announce, we don't have that ready yet, but we'll announce for teams, people who want to bring their entire company into this program, we're going to announce a way that can happen. It happens on a company level, and you guys would basically send our head of business, Ms. Sag, to simply get on a phone call with you, and he can explain that to you and your company. Okay? So that one we're going to be taking care of, but we'll talk about that maybe in a week or so as we start putting the pieces of the program together. Next question, that lady in the white top.
Hi, Vishen. Is there going to be any kind of like community or group for all the students to connect?
Absolutely,
interact?
yes. So when Mindvalley is designing a program, there are 5 pillars of transformation that we put in, right? And some of these pillars are very relevant for the AI program. And one of the pillars, if you want to create an effective program, is community. The concept is called social discourse, getting the students to be able to share with each other. So we will have our own community platform ready around September 15. The program starts August 16, but around September 15, we'll launch the community platform. The first month, we'll just be connected on WhatsApp, and that's when people will be able to share their case studies, their output, their ideas with each other, so that all of us in our AI community can elevate each other and grow. Well, yes. After a class, very often the teacher will stay back for a few moments for Q&A. Okay, but again, it depends on the teacher. Some of our teachers are really major AI pioneers. Naveen Jain, for example, right? I don't know if we can get a Q&A with Naveen. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. But a guy like him, their time is worth a crazy amount per hour. And so it really depends on the teacher. We can't always promise it, but what we promise is the 50 hours. Okay, so if we'll wrap up our presentation here. Give yourselves a big round of applause for attending Mindvalley AI Summit. It's been a really fun 3 days. I'm excited to go through this training myself because I know I'm going to learn so much from some of the AI pioneers that we have here. Thank you guys. Can't wait to see you all in the program.